Yo, what is going on, everyone? This is Dez, and of course, we are in the car. Honestly, I'm not going to a job right now. I'm headed to go get my dog, but I, of course, am here to give you 3 reasons why I do not worry about local competition.
Here to show up and show out. Here to show up and show out. What? Here to show up and show out. Here to show up and show out. Yeah.
So as you guys know, I live here in Dallas area. The Metroplex is large, it's huge, and there's a lot of people in this space. There's a lot of photographers, a lot of videographers in this space. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of you guys. But I think it's important to understand that as entrepreneurs, as business owners, your competition is not amongst everyone else. It's always really about yourself. And so here's the 3 reasons that I stand firm on. 1, when I'm looking at myself and when I'm looking at my clients, I first know that clients buy into you, not just the service. What does that mean? So as a photographer and as a videographer, most of the times my clients have bought into me based on my personality. They've bought into me based on conversation that I've had. They've bought into me based on knowing that that I'm going to do a good job, whether that's been referral, you name it. Prime example and story. So the other week I was getting my windows tinted for both my cars, and after the guy got done the job, I had been talking to him, chopping it up with him throughout the day as he was doing the cars and doing the work on them. And I just asked him flat out, "Hey man, who does your work? Who does your video work? Who does your photo work? I was looking at your social page and you have nothing." And he was like, "Man, I need to do it." And I was like, "All right, well, let's talk about it." And he's like, "I love to do that, man." He's like, "Hey, can we schedule some time and let's sit down and talk through it?" He was like, "I've been watching you work today. I've been watching you interact with people," because of course I'm always working, while of course waiting on your car. And I was like, "Let's do it. Let's talk through it." He heard me editing and he realized that I had the juice. What does that tell you? That lets you know that I didn't have to say much. I didn't have to show him much of my work for him to already buy in and knowing that he could trust me. Why? He heard the conversation. He heard how I was moving and how I was interacting with my personal clients. But then on the same side of it, he also was able to tell by my disposition, how I approached him, that I was serious about business. So that's one reason. When you're thinking about it, understanding that your clients are observing you all the way frontwards and backwards. They're looking at not just your work, they're also looking at you. Does this person look and feel trustworthy? Or do they feel gimmicky? Now, number 2, there's more than enough work to go around. Like I said, I live in Dallas. And so because I live in Dallas, know that this market is massive. I mean, it's a lot of work out there. And the reality is you can sell a brush to a ball, man. And so I have come across work and I've had the opportunity to book work with clients that you probably wouldn't even think of even marketing to, whether that is taking pictures of screws, nuts, and bolts, or whether that is walking up to your nearest equestrian and saying, "Hey, I would love to record some video content of your horses for your website." There's so many ways that you can be booking and making work happen for you, and you're not stepping over your peers that's living right next to you or your best friends that work with you. Yes, I said it because for me, definitely as a business owner, you would know, definitely if you know me, you know that a lot of the contractors that I have are like my best friends. We all do the same work. We all work hard, but we work with each other so that we're able to, one, kind of keep the money in-house, but at the same time, it also allows us the ability to build and expand our own portfolios. Last thing that I would say is you compete on quality and experience, not price. So I saw this on Threads earlier this morning, and it was a guy who was saying that he felt that there were too many social content creators that were charging high rates but did not have enough experience. And I partially agree with that, because the reality is a lot of times we want to go in and think that we set the price as the margin of this is what it is, and because that's what everyone else is charging. But the truth of the matter is, and we're not going to go into a numbers game, but when we think about price really should also equal your experience. It should also equal what have you done? What have you done to prove that you can handle this type of work? I'm a strong advocate of, if you've never done it before, do it for free. Don't set yourself up in a position to where you're shooting something, being paid to do it, and then you deliver a crappy product because you did not know what you were doing. You'll be more happy to be able to deliver an amazing product, get paid by doing it later, all simply because you took the time to put in the work. Think about it just like this. As an athlete, there's really a very small position or a small chance that athletes are born athletes. A lot of times athletes are born with some genetic traits, but it definitely takes some work, meaning they got to go to the gym, they got to practice, they got to stretch, they got to go through the process of it. And so when you think about that, you're not competing just on around a price point, but you're also competing based on your experience and your quality. That's understanding what work have you put in to be able to prove what you're doing. And so that's all I have for you guys is when we're thinking about this concept of competition and when we're thinking about this concept of working within our local markets, because that's really where we want to try and hang out at, right? That's where our bread and butter is. Whether that's your local supermarket, whether that's your local entrepreneur business, whether it is a dog grooming business or a nail salon, it's understanding, why should I not be concerned about the next photographer or videographer that's right next to me trying to do the same thing? Why? Because there's always business out there. So let's look at these last three. We're going to look at them. First one is clients buy into you, not just the service. So are you approachable? Are you someone that looks like you represent a good business, that you have good business ethics? Based on your conversation, do you sound knowledgeable of what you're talking about? Number two, there's more than enough work to go around. I promise you. There's one thing that we don't have to worry about in our industry is work stopping. People will always need photo, they will always need video, they will always need media content. We just need to figure out how do we scale around it. And then number three, you compete on quality and experience, not just the price. That experience matters more than just making people feel good. It's also knowing, what do you know? Can you handle any and every situation? That's what we love about wedding photographers and wedding videographers. That's kind of what shapes us at being good in the corporate space, simply because we have gone through the battlefield, tested trials and tribulations of having conversations and shooting in environments that did not make sense, whether that is shooting in a snowstorm, shooting in rain, shooting in a black room. That's what allows you to go into another space and say, I can handle it because you've been there before or you've done something very similar. That being said, hey, the goal of this channel, the goal of what we do is really just to help entrepreneurs, photographers, videographers, and even small business owners understand how do they scale and build their business better. This your boy Des. Let's continue to keep talking business and keep hustling and grinding. Love y'all. Peace.
Here to show up and show out. Here to show up and show out. What? Here to show up and show out. Here to show up and show out. Yeah.